Hey everybody, this is Channing. I've seen a lot of people on the internet kind of wondering what to do at DragonCon, what to expect because this is their first year, so they're not really sure. I'm by no means an expert, but I thought I'd put together a little guide, just kind of what I've learned. I've been going since 2008. Again, I don't claim to know everything, but maybe a few of these tips will kind of help people out. First thing you're going to want to do before you go to DragonCon, plan. Get the schedule, create a calendar in Google or maybe make an Excel spreadsheet and just plan out all the panels, all the workshops, all the sessions, all the photo shoots that you want to go to. Get a nice little grid together so that you kind of have an idea of what to expect and you'll at a glance be able to know where to go and where you need to be. Once you've got that plan made, tear it up. Planning at DragonCon is kind of like herding cats, and I think herding cats may actually be a little bit easier. Even if you do make that plan, it's gonna change. Panels get canceled, certain guests don't show up, you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna get tired, so don't feel like everything has to be thought out 100%. Have an overall idea, but don't try to plan too much. A volunteer once told me that at DragonCon, chaos is the plan. So that's kind of a good way to look at it. Now let's talk about food. You're going to get hungry while you're there. And a lot of places are either going to be packed or they're going to be a little on the pricey side. It may be a good idea for you to leave the downtown area, kind of go out a little bit to find a good spot. Sometimes taking a quick Uber ride or Lyft or taxi or however you want to do it, sometimes taking, a 5 or 6 minute ride away will save you 45 minutes to an hour. And when you're starting to get hangry, that time matters. So don't feel like you're just stuck down there. There's lots of good restaurants all over Atlanta. Most of them are just a short car ride away. So think about that. You have some other options around there, provided you can get some transportation. The other thing you're going to want to think about while you're there is water. You will need to hydrate. I'm from the South. I love the heat. I love the high humidity. So trust me when I tell you that Atlanta in the summertime is hot. You're going to need water. You're going to need something like a Powerade or Gatorade. Something just to keep you hydrated. Invest in a good water bottle and use it. There is always something changing at DragonCon, kind of like I mentioned earlier. The schedule is very fluid to say the least. One thing that I highly suggest you do is follow the Daily Dragon. They do an update every day, hence the name, and it just kind of gives you an idea of what's been canceled, what's been moved to a new room. It may list a few events that you didn't know about that are going on. So you want to follow them on Twitter. They're also on the web. I'll post links below so that you can get to them. They're also the place to go for lost and found items. You can send out a tweet to them if you found something. You can send out a tweet to them if you've lost something. And they can kind of spread the word. It may help you locate things a little bit quicker. At DragonCon, there's all kinds of panels and workshops and concerts and parties. It's almost impossible to pick an event that you just have to go to, one single must-see event. So I'm not going to attempt to try that. I will say that personally, I've always enjoyed the Firefly panels. The cast is hilarious. Even though the show was on for only a season many years ago, they're still great. They make jokes at each other's expense. They answer the weirdest of questions with a smile on their face. They're a great group, and even if you weren't a brown coat, you might want to go see them if they're ever there as a group. I'm also a big fan of anything done by Adult Swim. Again, that's just a personal choice. I like a lot of their shows, and I like the fact that they do previews for them too. So I usually do some Adult Swim stuff. But otherwise, again, find something that you like, go to it. If it looks good in the book, go check it out. If it's full, trust me, there's a million other things going on that you can go and see what's happening in there. If you put a gun to my head and just made me pick a must-see event at DragonCon, I'd probably say the Masquerade. And even then, there's a little caveat. I like the Masquerade. It's a lot of fun, and I feel like everyone should see it live and in person at least once. It's huge. People put in a lot of work on these costumes, and I think just seeing it in person, you really get to appreciate it. Also, you get to watch cartoons during the event, and really, who doesn't like to watch cartoons? After that one-time viewing it live, the best way to view it is in someone's hotel room. You don't even need to be in a host hotel anymore. If you can get DragonCon TV through an internet subscription, have a room party. Have some people over. One of my best memories was watching the masquerade in a hotel room while playing card games, may or may not have been indulging in a few adult beverages, and just hanging out with friends. And then when the masquerade is over, you don't have to get stuck in that crowd that's trying to leave, and you're ready to go out and enjoy the rest of the night at DragonCon. So if you've never been to the masquerade, go there once in person, enjoy it, and then after that, try to organize you some room parties and enjoy it that way. The other thing I'd recommend doing at DragonCon is switching things up a little bit. Don't feel like you're restricted to this one track the entire time you're there. If you're into robotics, sure, go to your robotics panels and go see the Robot Wars, but take some time and go to something on the costuming track. If you're an anime person, by all means, go to everything anime related, but maybe sneak over and see what's happening on the Brit track. Again, there's a lot at DragonCon, and I think everybody should try and take in a little bit of it here and there. So those tips won't work for everyone. Your mileage is going to vary when you use them. But if you take nothing else away from this videos, just remember my 3 rules that I try to follow when I'm at DragonCon. And that's just simply, don't judge, let some shit go, and don't act a fool. You're going to see some things that you may not agree with. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong, so don't judge those folks. There's going to be anywhere between 60 and 80,000 people. There's probably going to be some bumping every now and then. Lines are going to be long. There's going to be crowds. You just got to learn to let that stuff go. Don't be that person that's in line complaining about everything and how slow everything is moving. Just don't be that person. And lastly, don't act a fool. Don't harass anybody. Know your drinking limits. Don't be that person who gets drunk and just does all the stupid stuff that people talk about on forums later. So take all of these rules with a big grain of salt. I'm not saying that I'm an expert with all the answers, but those are just some things that I've noticed over the years that I wish I knew during my first one. Heck, I wish I knew a lot of them even during my second one. Hopefully, no matter what, you'll go to DragonCon, you'll have a good time, you'll make some new friends, and you'll get some great stories to tell.